Welcome to the Free Kick Podcast. My name is Todd. Well, guys, we finally made it to the last game of the round of 16. I'm super excited. I mean, it took a while to get here, but we're here. Today, I'm joined by two guys who have been on the podcast before. I'd like to welcome on Ricky Zellefrow and Tyler Elliott. Welcome back on the podcast, you guys. How have you guys been?
Surviving.
What about you, Tyler?
Healthy. Very healthy.
Hey, that's good. That's the main thing. I mean, I know you personally the best out of everybody I've had on the show and everything, just because we've been neighbors for all these years and everything, which, spoiler alert, no, we're not in the same room, so Tyler is not getting a advantage and everything. Tyler's up in Delaware with a broken down car. So other than that, I'm glad to hear you're doing good, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Just ignore the wiretaps on the phones, and, we'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've been asking everybody, do you think MLS is going to come back? And then the latest bit of news we got this week was MLS is postponed now until June 8th. And I feel like by the time we get closer to June 8th, they're probably going to postpone it again until sometime in July. So what are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys think we're going to get soccer this year?
It seems like best case scenario at this point, there's some sort of closed doors thing, because I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunity for like a big crowd to get together. So that kind of eliminates most games with crowds, I feel like, probably till at least the beginning of next year. And then depending on, how quick any sort of vaccine or, helps to when you do get it occur, it could be a while till we have, because 20,000 people together is not a great idea.
No, it is not. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It's not a good idea at all. But Tyler, I mean, are you in the same boat that you don't think we'll get soccer, or if we get it, it's going to be behind closed doors?
I mean, I think it's either you have to completely televise all games on some kind of national broadcast that's not locked behind ESPN Plus, or and play the season behind closed doors, or don't do it at all. I feel like without having to pay for it all the time, if you're outside of that Philly region, I feel like that's in the fans' best interest and safety.
Yeah, definitely. And so it was funny. I mean, I'm big into Reddit, and I know you use Reddit yourself, Tyler. I don't know about you, Ricky, or anybody that's listening, but yesterday I read an article by Yahoo that they mentioned Disney World as a venue for the NBA because they already have multiple arenas on Disney's Wide World of Sports and everything. Disney shut down its private property, so you could shut down people coming to watch and everything, and none of the hotels are in use. So you have two hotels, the Art of Animation and Pop Century. Yeah, I'm a big Disney guy, so what? That are right next to ESPN's Worldwide of Sports. So it's like the hotels would be close to the players, and not only that, I mean, they have hotels all around the property. So I thought that was a pretty cool idea that somebody threw around for NBA. And I mean, if you think about it, Disney has 17 soccer fields on the Worldwide of Sports that they could use for games and everything for practices. They have hotels, like I said, and Disney and MLS already have like a good partnership with each other because last year the All-Star game was played down in the Worldwide of Sports. We saw what kind of facilities they had and everything. So I don't know. Maybe that could be one possibility I saw thrown around and everything. I mean, I definitely want to get soccer, and I agree with you both. We probably won't be able to go to a game at all this season if we do get soccer back. But one thing I want to play to you guys real quick, which I haven't done any of this stuff yet with any of the other contestants, just because I feel like I haven't really had time to. But I thought this was a pretty big news clip to drop and everything, so I'm going to play it. This is from ESPN FC, so it's about a minute long, so just sit back and give me you guys your thoughts on this clip.
Fascinating stuff from Jeff Carlisle over on the website, talking about the possibility of MLS players getting a salary cut up to 50%. Let's welcome in Ali Moreno and Hercules Gomez to discuss this. Herc, let's start with you. What are you hearing?
This is unbelievable. According to this article, I believe the total payroll between all the players in the league is about $301 million. They're looking for 150 of that to be reduced, to be wiped out willingly by the players. Now, the thing is, there is no language in the current CBA that can force the owners in Major League Soccer to do this to the players. It would have to be voluntary. what I'm hearing is if the players don't agree to this, that famous CBA that they agreed upon on principle that hasn't been signed, well, that may go out the window. And maybe we'll see a lockout. It's an unfortunate circumstance. Players, I should say owners, are realizing that maybe it's not worth playing these games if they're behind closed doors because they depend so much on the game day revenue. What is the ticket sales, merchandising, what is parking, what is promotion and endorsements and advertisements that go with all the game day. Their TV deal is about $90 million. To put it in perspective, NBA is about $2.5 billion, and football, NFL, is about $5 billion. They can't survive if it's behind closed doors. This is going to get murky. The players have a choice to make. They're asking them to reduce their salary by 50%, but if they get to June 1st, they've already made 50% of their salary, so the players have a huge, really, decision to make here. What do they do? I think this is going to get tricky for the players.
So, I mean, just hearing that, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts? I mean, to lose out on 50% of your salary by June 1st, well, you guys aren't getting paid anymore. Now, granted, I mean, these guys make more money than all of us and everything, and so it's not like they're hurting and everything, but for guys that are just coming into the league that are making bare minimum and everything, that's a lot of money to give up, half your money and everything. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? And then there's also the rumor that the owners could potentially force the players to go on a lockout and lock them out of the league and everything, so they start losing money, so they don't have to pay the players and everything. And this is going to get really, really messy, in my opinion, because if you force a lockout, that's going to turn players over in Europe away from coming to this league potentially, because they're like, oh, well, look at this. They stop paying the players and everything. Why would I want to go over there? Or the players that are already here, they're going to call up the agent and say, get me out of this league. I don't want to deal with this anymore. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I feel like it's definitely not a good standard to set. If, like, because we see with like the RSL owner who's like not paying his people, even though he just bought that dime that was like a few $1 million. We can't afford to pay his like game day staff and stuff. And it's just like, if you're not able to pay these people, even though you're essentially, most of these people are billionaires, it's not like they don't have the money somewhere. I could understand, say, like, if we look at, like, funnily enough, our ownership has actually been one of the few to fully pay everybody. Jay Sugarman's actually been doing a good job there, which is weird because he's probably, if you think about it, one of the least, liquid owners with the least money. Because like when he bought this team, it was he got most of his money before the stock market kind of crashed in 2008, and then he lost a lot of his money, and then suddenly he's got a team, but he doesn't have a lot of money. So it's really weird to have like ownership being like, hey, we're not going to pay you guys because we're not making money, even though we probably definitely have money somewhere that we could give you guys. And if worst case scenario, it's what, you don't have a game for 2 years. If you can't pay your players for 2 years, that's not a terribly long time to not be making enough money to pay your players. And I think in one of the Reddit threads, there was a whole conversation about how much it actually cost each of these teams. And it was, in the grand scheme of things, they're not really by each team, you're only spending a few $100 million a year in the grand scheme of things. So not having a few $100 million a year when we're talking about billionaires seems a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Tyler, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you think that we could get to the point where we have a lockout for MLS? I mean, I feel like that's worst case scenario and everything, but I mean, if you're already hearing rumors potentially of that's going to be scary for the league. I mean, I don't want to say that's going to be the downfall and everything, but that's definitely not going to help the league, because I feel like the last couple of years, the league's been on the up and the up and the up, and the players got a great deal with the new CBA. Now, granted, I don't have the time, nor do I want to talk into the whole financial things of the new CBA that, in principle, they agreed. So it's not even a deal yet and everything. So the owners could use that CBA deal and this whole just, we're not making money as a negotiation to get what they want out of the CBA, because I feel like the ownership gave up a lot in the new CBA and everything. So what are your thoughts, Tyler?
Well, I think honestly, where we sit at right now, it's a global pandemic, and nobody in our lifetime or anybody's lifetime has seen anything really close to the effect this has had on honestly everyone. I think with the rumors that's not obviously people are going to talk because it's, there's no sports being played. There's nothing. The waters are murky. But honestly, with this whole situation, I just see the waters getting more muddy and muddy before they get clear with this whole CBA and the players' salaries being cut. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing we can all agree on and everything. Like I said, I mean, it just seems like the last couple of years, MLS has got better and better and better. And I tell this story all the time where I became a fan in 2007, watched MLS for the first time, and was like, this is not European soccer. Turned it off for 10 years, came back to it, was super surprised by how well the league had progressed and everything. And as the years have gone on, I mean, it's definitely got better and better. The quality's got better. The better players have been coming to the league. We've got rid of those agent superstars for the most part. But if you have a lockout, I mean, forcing players or telling players, take a 50% salary cut. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's going to get worse and worse. And like you said, Ricky, I mean, it's surprising. Jay Sugarman, of all people, that's still paying his game day staff and everything, while so many other owners aren't really doing it. And Jay Sugarman was one of the first to be like, yeah, I'll step up to the plate. I'll do it and everything, which is the right thing. So, I mean, this is definitely something to keep an eye out on, and probably something, I feel like the longer this game show goes on and everything, it's definitely going to be a topic of discussion for the other contestants and myself, and maybe even after the game show is wrapped up. But let's head into the game, though. First off, we're going to start with the section that's called 5 and 25. So 5 and 25 is where I ask each contestant 5 questions. They have 25 seconds to answer the questions. The clock starts after I read the first question. If a contestant doesn't know the answer, they can say skip. And if we have time, we can go back to the question. Each question will be worth 2 points each. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
No, I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, we're going to start with you first, Ricky. So I'll read the first question. The timer starts then. So you ready?
I guess.
All right, here we go. Who scored the last goal of the 2018 regular season for the Union?
2018?
Mm-hmm.
Corey Burke.
Who led the Union in the league goals in 2012?
2012? Skip.
Who led the Union in assists in 2016?
2016? Harris Medunjanin.
What year did the Union sign Fafa Pico?
2016.
Awesome. So we didn't have time to get to the fifth question, but so the first question, you're right. That was who scored the last goal of the 2018 regular season for the Union. It was Corey Burke, which came against New York City. The second question, who led the Union in league goals in 2012? That was Jack McInerney with 8 goals that year.
Makes sense.
In 2016, who led the Union in assists? I was a little bit surprised by this. I did think it was Harris as well, but it was actually Fabian Herbers, the forward.
Yeah.
And then what year did the Union sign Fafa? It was in 2017. So you got 1 out of 5 there, Ricky. So that gives you 2 points. Tyler, now it's your turn. You ready?
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Here we go. Your first question, Tyler. Who scored the first goal of the 2018 regular season for the Union?
Ooh, I believe that was Fafa Pico.
Who led the Union in league goals in 2017?
Corey Burke.
Who led the Union in assists in 2017?
Ooh. Pass.
What year was Fred traded to the Union?
Pass.
How many Union players won the 2011 MLS All-Star Game?
Ooh. Was that a Fred question in there?
There was a Fred question in there. So
You want to talk about a curveball? What a 12-6.
I know it was. So the buzzer went off. So the first question for you, Tyler, who scored the first goal of the 2018 regular season for the Union? That was Mr. Anthony Fontana against New England.
Yep.
The second question was, who led the Union in league goals in 2017? That was CJ Sapong with 16. He led the Union in assists in 2017. That answer was Harris Medunjanin. He had 12 assists. What year? The Fred question. Was Fred traded to the Union? That was 2010. So his first season, the first year for the Union, he got traded from DC United. Then the last question I asked before the buzzer went off, how many Union players were in the 2011 MLS All-Star Game? The answer to that one was 1, being goalkeeper Farid Mondragon. So, and Ricky, you have 2 points. Tyler, you're off to a great start, bud.
Oh, Jesus.
But let's go ahead and go on to the next category, which is super simple, guys. It's true, false. So I don't need to explain this to you guys. I'll ask you guys each 5 questions each, with each question being worth 1 point each. Tyler, the pressure is still going to be on you because I'm going to start with you. So you're not timed in this, but are you ready?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, here we go. First question for you. True or false? Andre Blake was once teammates with Wes Morgan at Sporting Central Academy in Jamaica.
True.
That is false. Surprisingly, Wes Morgan never played for a club team in Jamaica. He was born in England. Never knew that until I looked it up. So you learn something new every day. All right, here we go. Question number 2. True or false? Last year, the Union signed Charlie Lyon as a backup goalkeeper.
True.
That is true. He was brought in due to injuries to Andre Blake and Matt Freese. Question number 3. True or false? The most shots taken by a Union player in a playoff game is 6.
I'll say true.
It is true. It was Ali Bedoya against New York Red Bulls, which, I've seen that game like 3 times now, once in person, 2 reruns, and I still don't remember Ali Bedoya taking that many shots against New York Red Bulls, but he did score a goal, so I guess, you miss all the shots you don't take. So thanks, Ali, for getting us that
goal
first goal
that the camera never caught.
Yeah, really. All right, here we go. Question number 4. True or false? In 2015, Maurice Adu led the Union in yellow cards with 7.
False.
It is false. He had 8. And last question for you, Tyler. True or false? In 2016, it was leaked that Zlatan Ibrahimovic was on the Union's quote-unquote discovery list.
False?
It is true. It is true.
Man.
So, before we get to you, Ricky, what are you guys' thoughts on the discovery list? I think it's so stupid that teams are like, oh, I discovered Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Like, everybody knows who Zlatan is, or John Terry was also on that list. Like, everybody knows who John Terry is. I think this is so stupid. There's, like, so many stupid aspects in MLS, and this is definitely one of them.
I would just like to be in the boardroom with the guys when they said, oh, have you heard of this 30-year-old Swede? You might know him. He's played for a couple teams. Nobody really high profile or anything. But
what about you, Ricky?
You miss all the shots you don't take, as they say.
It is. That is absolutely right.
For the moon, if you miss, you'll be amongst the stars.
Absolutely. But let's go to you now, Ricky. So are you ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Question number 1 for you. True or false? In 2012, Michael Farfan led the Union in yellow cards with 7.
True.
It is true. Here we go. Question number 2. True or false? There have been 8 different Union players to record an assist in the playoffs.
Oh, Jesus. False.
You're right. It is false. I feel like that was one of them. If you don't want to take the time to figure out the players, then it's like it's 50-50. But Michael Farfan got one against Houston. Justin Mapp got one against Houston. I also hate that about MLS, where it's like in hockey, 2 players get the assist. Richie Marquez got an assist against Toronto. Elsinho also got the assist against Toronto. Elsinho again got an assist against New York City in 2018. So Elsinho was on this list twice. Harris got an assist against New York Red Bulls. Sergio Santos got an assist versus the Red Bulls. And Fafa Pico also got an assist. So you're right. There is only 7. So not 8. Here we go. Question number 3. True or false? Ali Bedoya is second all-time in yellow cards for the Union with 22.
True.
It is false. He is number 3 on the list. Brian Carroll is second with 23. Here we go. Question number 4. True or false? Philadelphia Union scored 37 goals in 2012.
True.
It is true. 2012 was a rough year for the Union. That is a year not to remember. And luckily, I came on board a little bit later on and everything. But I wouldn't mind going back and watching some of those older games, like I've said before. But last question here for you, Ricky. True or false? Jack McInerney had a 16-game goalless streak in 2013.
True.
It is false. It was actually a 14-game goalless streak. He scored against DC United to break the streak, but nonetheless, that is a tough goalless streak for any striker and everything. So that leads us with Tyler. You have 3 points. You went 3 out of 5 in that category. Ricky, you also went 3 out of 5. So that puts us at 3 points for Tyler and 5 points for Ricky, you guys. So it's still all to play for with this last category, which is name the Union player. So in the final category, I will ask you guys to go head-to-head against each other and guessing the Union player I'm describing. I'll give 5 clues, and contestants can, quote-unquote, buzz in whenever they think they know the player. So what I mean by buzz is you guys say your own name. So if Tyler Before I'm done giving the hints, if you know it, you say Tyler, and then you give the player's name. If a contestant answers the question wrong, then that will freeze them out until the next player is described. Each question will be worth 3 points each. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
Negative.
All right, here we go, guys. Player number 1 is a midfielder. Hint number 2, joined the Union in 2016. Hint number 3, played for Shakhtar Donetsk.
Ricky.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Elsinho.
It is indeed Elsinho. The other 2 hints for that were has 19 goals for the Union. First name, Ilson. Elsinho is the player. Here we go. Player number 2, jersey number 11. Hint number 2, scored 7 goals in his Union career. Hint number 3, joined the Union in 2011.
Jesus.
Hint number 4, was drafted by DC United in 2004.
Nope.
And here we go, guys. Last hint, first name Freddie.
Tyler?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Freddie Adu?
It is indeed Freddie Adu.
I was not about to touch that one.
So you guys are still keeping interest in only a 2-point difference. Here we go. Player number 3, jersey number 14. Hint number 2, played 5 seasons with the Union. Hint number 3, has played for the U.S. youth national teams. Hint number 4, was a 6th overall pick in the 2010 MLS Super Draft.
No idea.
And here we go. Hint number 5. First name, Mbobi.
Ricky.
Go ahead, Ricky.
Amobi Akugo.
It is indeed Akugo. So here we go.
I would have never gotten there.
Here we go. Player number 4, though, for you guys. Played for the Union for 3 years. Hint number 2, he made his debut against New York City FC. Hint number 3, his nickname is Lord Helmet.
Ricky.
Go ahead, Ricky.
John McCarthy.
It is McCarthy. The other hints for that were currently plays for Inter Miami and first name John. Here we go, guys. The last question. Player number 5 is a homegrown. Hint number 2, has played for the U.S. youth national teams. Hint number 3 is from Wayne, Pennsylvania.
Tyler?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh, would that be Brendan Aronson?
It is not. Aronson is from New Jersey. So you have 2 more hints here, Ricky. Here we go. Hint number 4, partially tore his oblique muscle against FC Cincinnati last year. And hint number 5, first name Matt.
Matt Real.
No, it is Matt Freeze.
I was Matt Freeze. Yeah. Well, I think I won anyways. So
You did. So I will tally up the totals and everything. But man, Tyler, I mean, you definitely gave him a run for the money and everything, especially getting that second player and everything. I mean, I've said it before and everything. It's like, probably the best way to play this last category is to sit back and wait for me to read the final couple questions and everything. But I've had people, come and give the first couple questions and think that they've known it and everything. But the final score is Ricky with 14 points, Tyler with 6 points. So Tyler, you did better than you thought you would do. But congratulations, Ricky. You're moving on to the next round.
did better than Devin. You can.
Well, I will shake my head on that the rest of my life. So, Devin, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about that.
Everybody rat on Devin. There we go.
Yeah. I mean, coming from the Sons of Ben podcast and everything, the official supporters group and everything. But I guess Devin's defense, they always said they're not an X's and O podcast and everything. So, I mean, I guess at least you got onto the scoreboard, Devin. And you definitely got onto the scoreboard as well, Tyler. But I was just kind of thinking and everything, you guys were the last people to go on and everything for the round of 16 and everything. So you guys said earlier you guys haven't listened to an episode, which is fine and everything. But I feel like all the pressure is on the earlier people because they had no clue what to expect and everything. But to their defense, too, like I asked a lot more easier questions. And as the tournaments went on, the questions have definitely got harder and everything. So, I mean, once we get into the round of 8, the round of 4, they're definitely going to get harder and everything. But, Ricky, why don't you let everybody know where to find you on social media?
You can basically find me on any social media if you look for Ricky Rondo, like Rajon Rondo, the former Celtics basketball player. I think on like Twitter and Instagram, one of them it's Ricky _, and the rest of them it's Ricky Rondo. That's usually where you can find me.
Absolutely. What about you, Tyler?
You can find me on Twitter at SelloutSubi, and you can also find my card group at AMM Meets on Facebook and Instagram.
And all that jazz. But yeah, I mean, you guys, the listeners, if you're not following the podcast yet, on social media, just follow it on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Free Kick Pod. Check out the website, thefreekickpodcast.com. Wherever you get your podcasts, just look for The Free Kick by Todd Lewis, and you'll be able to find it. But guys, it's been a blast having you guys back on and everything. Always a pleasure talking to people that I've talked to in the past and everything on the podcast and everything. And for you guys, the listeners, so if you've been paying attention to who's been moving on and whatnot throughout the tournament and everything, like I said earlier in one of the first episodes, the way that the guys stacked up to each other and everything, like the rankings and everything, the seeds, that stuff doesn't matter. So I'll be posting a video on Twitter sometime soon, redrawing the people that are moving on and everything. And now that I know that the video can only be 2 minutes long, I will keep it under 2 minutes. But like I said, congratulations, Ricky, and great job, Tyler, for getting 6 points.
I just want to hear the intro music again, that classic game show. Has anybody else talked about how great that intro music is? Like, I don't understand. That's a banger.
Yeah, Mike Thomas did. So you're the second one. So thanks for calling it up.
And in fact, I demand to be played out to it right now.
Awesome. With that said, my name is Todd, and this is the Free Kick Podcast.